What I had done off of the recording is I had to fix some things with the sprites. For some reason, the deserialization didn't work. Wasn't working right. What did I do here? I think I deleted. Oops. I think I deleted one too many rows. I did. Anyway, so let me pull up sprites here. So I did have the names different. For some reason, this JSON property is not assigning them when I try to do the query. So I had to change names back to what they are in the documentation because they won't deserialize properly. So that's how I got the sprites to pull again. Also off the stream or off the screen, what I had done is I finished this piece where I generate the data to fill out the Pokemon data that I'm getting back. I'm making a call for the sprite stuff. I am generating a list of moves, a list of abilities, and all the sprites to return. So what it returns now, when you query a Pokemon by ID, let me pull this up, boom, try it out, okay. Query it by ID, and then it'll give you what we need for our shop, which is the name of the Pokemon, their abilities. Mostly I'm concerned about whether or not the ability is hidden. I don't see any for Scyther, so I want to make sure that I find one that does have hidden abilities. Anyway, I think well, I'll come back to it in a minute. Then it has the list of all their moves that Pokemon can learn, and then details on that move. There we go. Then we want to know if it's a baby, if it's legendary, if it's mythic. None of those are true. The gender rate, and then it's got the list of the sprites so I can find them. Now it looks like Scyther has a female version that is different than the male version. So that's good that I can tell now that I've got that back. I don't know any Pokemon off the top of my head that has a specific hidden ability, so I'm gonna look at Eevee, or not Eevee. I'm gonna look at Mew. Again, Mew doesn't have doesn't have a hidden ability, but I did want to check and see if the legendary stuff is coming out before we get moving. I want to see if at least most of this is working. So I'm still not getting the is legendary, which tells me that there are some things that are not parsing back yet. Might need to do some more stuff here. Let me try that again and see what I get. Because it might be a parsing issue again. And I might have to work on it off screen in a minute or in a little bit later. So yeah, for some reason it's coming back with that data being inaccurate. Weird. I don't know why that'd be doing that. Anyway, I'll get with that off screen, off the stream. Anyway, we'll break this. What I do want to do, even though that we're getting bad data, it's still data and it still works. So what we want to do is we want to start a new blazor project. So we're gonna go here. Okay, you're gonna start a new project. Okay, my front end piece that I'm working on, I don't know if I mentioned it, my front end piece is going to be a blazor project. Blazor is a single page application. I prefer it because Blazor is very much still C#. There should be two options for Blazor. So you have a Blazor web app and then you have a Blazor server app. The difference between them is like mostly who hosts the logic side of it, I guess. So Blazor server runs on whatever is hosting, and then the Blazor web app runs on whoever's using the page, more or less. That's the basics of it. At work we use servers, so I'm going to stick with server, but you can use a web app for this one. It's really not going to be a big difference. Anyway, we're going to name this. I'm going to go, again, stick with the naming convention that I use at work, so it's going to be website dot Pokistore, I guess. We still want to stay in 5.0. 5.0 is the best version. We're not doing any authentication stuff, just like before. And we're going to go ahead and create our Blazor app. Now, Blazor is really nice in the aspect of it's similar to Razor, or actually it uses Razor stuff. Okay, cool. It uses Razor stuff, which is something that if you've done website design before with Razor, you kind of have an understanding of what's going on here. There are some little bit of different stuff, but not a whole lot. So your main layout is pretty simple. You don't really have to do much here. You just want to leave it be. You'll come back to it because the body is going to exist in that. So, and then your nav menu. I'll just show you what's going on here. So, this is the base web page. One, open up. Okay, so this section here, this is the body. And so what you're going to be adjusting here is body related stuff. This is in the main, and then your nav is in separate but also exists in the main. I'll show you how that works. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to start modifying this central piece. Now, Blazor web applications are what is called a single page application, meaning that technically they never actually leave this one page. And because they're stateless, they don't remember stuff unless you like cache it. But for the most part, they don't remember the state they were in. So if you refresh the page, it starts over. Stuff like that. Like I said, you're working inside the same page, but yeah, if you change the view, then it changes stuff. I don't know really how else to explain that. It's kind of like you're not going to a new page when you do when you change this. Like it looks like you are because the web address changes, but you're not actually going anywhere. This is all the same page. The body is the only thing that reloads. So all of this never changes. When you change this, the only part that changes is this body piece. Okay. So when we're working, we want to understand that we're working in the body of the main layout. Okay, and we can adjust some stuff here. Like I said, the nav menu exists inside the main page, but not exactly. So what it does here is there's a sidebar div with styling that puts the nav menu on the left, and then your nav menu contents are here. And this is where Blazor is really actually super nice because this is a component and you can load a component in just by simply calling it instead of having to do like a bunch of initiation stuff. So we're calling this component called nav menu and we're just initiating it there that way, which is this, and it sets this up. What makes Blazor super efficient or super fun compared to like other Razor stuff or other HTML stuff is that you can do inline coding a lot more efficiently than you can with some of the other stuff. I prefer it over standard JavaScript because doing code in JavaScript is a pain, and it's a pain to troubleshoot or debug. So you can actually do the debugging inline here. And then this is, I believe this is the survey prompt page. when you're on the front page, it tells you to go here, right? Trying to think which one it tries to default to. Crap. Main layout should try to default to one of the pages. Oh, here we go. Reload, dismiss, body type of server pre-rendered. Sorry, my music was good. Okay, this is where it sets up a lot of the stuff like the bootstrap. I will be changing how we pull bootstrap because I like to pull the live stuff off of bootstrap main website. But there is some stuff here for the pre-built bootstrap and CSS. Like I said, which we'll be changing. What I'm looking for, and I can't remember if it's this page. That's styles title. Yeah, it doesn't look like. Reload framework. Okay, so that doesn't indicate where the index falls. Index should be here, which is page hello world, welcome to our new app. Oh, there we go. This is what we're looking for. So when you, let me pull this back up. This should be able, there you go. Okay, so this is in your main layout. Okay, this is in your nav menu. All right, and then your first page, your index at page slash pulls up this, which is header 1 hello world, and then not header 1 welcome to our new app, and then it pulls in this survey prompt which has the title of how is Blazor working for you. Okay, now this component is the survey prompt component here, which takes in the title, which is what it passed in. Going back to the index, this is the item that is being passed in as a title item. Okay, so if I go back to this, you can see that this title item is being passed in, and they use it here in strong, which is what the how is Blazor working for you. And then the component then takes over and says, please check out our survey, and gives you the link and tell us what you think. Okay, again, if I pull that up, you can see where that's all at. Okay, so I passed in the title, how is Blazor working for you, and then please take our brief survey, which is hyperlinked, and tell us what you think, which is not hyperlinked. Okay, all right, pretty simple. Now, that being said, I'm not going to use the survey prompt page, so I'm going to delete that component. Not going to use the fetch data page, which is going to cause problems in the nav because that one's supposed to be there. This is your error page. If you're using error pages for development, you can keep that. I'm going to keep it because I'm not going to mess with it. And then the counter page I'm going to get rid of. So in my nav menu, I need to get rid of those list items for now. I will have to make new nav later for the store as I go. But if we do nav, so you can see I got rid of those. So now it just takes you to the home page, which is the index. So this is where we're going to do most of our work. This is where, like I said, we're going to do most of our work. We're going to start here. We're going to build components out that lets you construct how your customers can buy stuff from the store, how they can go rotate through items. All right. So what we want to do first and foremost is your page here is indicated by the route. This is your route. Okay. So you can do multiple routes for the same page. So like, for example, you can do shop, and then if people go to your website and do shop, that'll do that. Or you can do page store, Oops, I need this. Or you can do, what other pages would we want? Page. Home. Any of those will take you here. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we want to do div. For now, we'll just do div class row. Now, for those of you who don't have any experience with Blazor or HTML, what this so everything is broken into divs. You want to break it into divs. That just separates out chunks of data that you're going to be displaying. The row is a bootstrap thing, and so what that does is it like says that this section of the page is a row, and then when you want a new section of the page, you just do a new row. So like, for example, I want to do, hi, I don't want that, Zyorhist, and then div class row. This is my Pokistore page. Okay. Now, in addition to rows, you also want to combine rows with columns. So rows are your like, you know, this row and this row and this row and this row. Like that's how you move down the page. But you can also column it out. So like, for example, I want to do a row. Okay. Oops. Now columns have to add up to 12. Always add them up to 12. So like if you do a 2 column, the next column has to be like a column 10 or whatever. So this is Zyorhist's and then this not the button I wanted. Okay, so now when I run this, my home page will have this set up. Now it'll be like, hi, I'm Zyorhist, this is my Pokistore, and then down here it'll be, this is my smaller column, and then this is my bigger column. Okay, so what I'll show you. Boom, exactly what I said. This is a row, this is a row, and then this is a row, but these are separate columns in the row, and like if I go to inspect, I can actually inspect this part, and you can see what I'm talking about. So like, this is inside the main, so like that's before our body. This is in the body. So this is my body. My first row is this row. My second row is this row. My third row is this row. But that row is divided into columns, so I've got a column 2 and a column 10. Okay, that makes sense. And then, you know, those divs all close. That's the end of the page. Now, what I was talking about routing, this will take me to this page. This will take me to this page. This will take me to the page. Like all of these route to the same page or the same body, right? So all of those, that's my, you know, if you manually route it, or if you just click home, that'll take you to the blank slash. Okay. So what we're gonna do, let's make some notes here. Okay, my handy dandy note thing. All right, what we want to do is build a shop where the customer can select Pokemon from a search. When selected, they are given the ability to choose specific options for that Pokemon. When finished, they should be able to decide to purchase the Pokemon. Alright, so this is where components are super useful. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new, I want to do a subpages folder. This is my organization system. I don't know that there's a lot of super useful organization systems, but so this is going to be sub components. Just because I don't like to, these are overlaying over your pages. This should be underlaying under your pages, so that's why I do it that way. But we're gonna, oh crap, not a class. We're gonna do a new, we're gonna add a razor component, not a class, because we want it to be set up like what we're doing. We want this just to be the shop search. So let's use search for the Pokemon name. Or actually, let's name it Pokemon search. So let's use search for Pokemon by name. Okay. Now, this will be the display of what shows up for that. Okay. And then this will be the code that runs. Alright. So, right now, it doesn't do anything except for, say, Pokemon search. Let's go back to our main page. Okay. Instead of doing the hi, I'm Zyorhist, what we're going to do is we're going to initiate. Well, we want to still do a div. I want to keep the divs just so that way I can. Just so I can keep stuff organized. But we're going to initiate this. We're going to call Pokemon. I don't want to do it that way. What I want to do, much like with C# coding, you can do using statements. Using, what is it? Website .pokistore pages sub components. Okay. You don't need the colon at the end, semicolon at the end, but that's how you call a that's how you call a different namespace. Now, right now, all it does is say in big letters Pokemon search, but we can make that adjustment here in a second. But let me show you what it does. So inside this row, it's going to create, or it's going to do whatever's in that object. So it says Pokemon search, right? That's what's there. And then the next row was, this is my Pokistore page. Okay. So let's work on here. What we need to pass into the Pokesearch, we're going to have to pass in a string, right? Which is going to be the Pokemon name. Okay. I will show you how to do validators here in a minute, but for now, let's just work in here. Okay, so we're gonna have to do some visual stuff first. So we're not even gonna do that. Okay. We're gonna need a button. Let me make notes here. We will need a search box. Search box should have a validator to ensure that the search string only contains letters. Do I want to do it only contains letters? Because some of them have slashes in them, I think, or spaces. Ensure that the search string does not contain numbers. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think we can just do does not contain numbers. Then we will need we'll need a button. Button will kick off the search. Or do we want to? No. Search should perform after changes in the search box. So if you type a letter into the search box, the search will begin. Yeah, the search will begin. Okay. We will need to have a display list, which displays the up to 10 Pokemon that can be returned. Okay. And then we need to make sure that when a Pokemon is selected from the list, the store populates with the Pokemon search data. So what it's going to do is it's going to let you type in a name. It's going to pull the top 10 matches that contain that part of a name. And then if you click one of those, it then fills out, or then it searches for that Pokemon that you clicked. We're going to want to pass that Pokemon data back, though. We want to, we'll probably have to create a variable or something that is injected through the website and test it and see if it stays updated, if it updates itself as you work, because we don't want to just keep doing components inside components if we don't need to. We can do, like, for example, going back to our home page, we can do our Pokemon search component, and then our I want to keep the row. Here we can do a component that controls Pokemon shop objects, and then inside of that it will contain components for inside of that it will contain components for each knob. I don't want to call it knobs. Each adjustable option for purchase. So what I mean by that is, like, it'll have a component that you can mess with that'll be like, okay, do I want this in a shiny? And then if you turn that on, then it turns on the shiny thing, and you will have to, like, it'll adjust the price and it'll show the shiny version. The gender options should be available. We'll have to do some logic for if they're not gender, if they cannot be gendered. For example, like a legendary. If a legendary comes back and cannot be gendered, then you want to make sure that that's handled. What else? I think that'll be managed there. And then Sorry, I got sidetracked. And then we'll do another row. And this will be a component for finalizing shop purchase, which basically creates an order and sends for purchase. Okay, so each component can handle its own scope, I guess, is the what I'm looking for. I don't want to create it in a way that I'm strung up about, like, I can only do this little bit here, and I have to base everything off of that. I want to be able to, just like when you're coding a regular program, you want to have little chunks that contain their own scope, and then if you make a change to them, it doesn't affect the rest of the code. The same thing happens here with these components. You're going to do each of them separately. Like I said, this Pokemon search should only be the search bar and button if we do a button, and nothing else. Like it shouldn't do anything else. All it should do is update the selected Pokemon object that we're looking for. And then from there we will keep updating that object as we go. I'll have to do some testing. I do know how to do some object permanence in Blazor, but I need to do some testing to see how permanent it can be. So I will do some of that before I get too far into this. But it's a good intro for now. Like I said, we'll get started on it here in the next pieces, and build it up based on the stuff that's already been worked on in the API series. So if you're not following this series for the Pokemon Manager, the middleware piece, you need to understand how I structured this for interfacing with the front end. All right. Hope to see you guys again soon. Hey everyone, thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed what you saw, please drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe. If you haven't already, please join the Discord server. We are looking to grow as much as we can, and hopefully you found this content interesting. Hope to see you in the next video.